Who dares disturb my slumber? Oh, it's that time of year now, isn't it? What's good, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and I'm here to look at the 2K25 trailer and website and see what all of the pertinent details are for this year's game. Very curious. I've only seen kind of the leaks and the rumors and this and that on the internet this past few weeks, so what's real, what's not, we're gonna find out. Let's check out this trailer, shall we? Of course, we knew the leaks, that Roman was indeed the cover star, so there's that. Acknowledge that legacy. And then, of course, your usual, here's some live-action footage that I'm not going to show on the internet because it's live-action footage of wrestling, and it always gets flagged by YouTube as being part of Raw or SmackDown or whatever. Annoying. Get to the gameplay. Okay. It's definitely a mix here, a heavy mix of more real life than gameplay. I'm here for the gameplay. So that's my most curious thing is, well, this is way too much not gameplay. Way too much of that. But they've shown some, a little bit. And it's time! Is it Vader time? Alright, here we go. Guess what I want. I saw Umaga. CM Punk. Okay, they've... What? Interesting. Alright, so play it early from March 7th, and a pre-order pack of the Wyatt 6 who've been, well, they've been on the main roster for a little bit now, but sure, why not? Before I break that down bit by bit, let's go look at the website, shall we? 2K25 features The Island. For the first time in franchise history, step outside the ropes and onto the island for PS5 and Xbox Series X, which means no PS4, no Xbox One, and notably, no PC. Stop treating PC players like second-class citizens. I swear. But in this immersive WWE-themed world, complete quests, take on challenges, compete in live events, and upgrade and customize your My Superstar through multiple storyline chapters. Fight to join the OTC, Roman at the head of the table. That all sounds like the NBA My City, and I've never heard anyone who plays NBA say that mode is good because they so heavily monetize it with microtransaction garbage. But it is interesting that it's only on current gen and not last gen platforms. The Bloodline's Dynasty, the all-new showcase hosted by the wise man Paul Heyman, celebrates the most iconic wrestling family dynasty, the Bloodline, featuring Roman, Rock, Yoko, Fatu, etc., etc., the infamous Tongaloa, you know the deal. Relive historic showdowns, or flip the script and change the outcome of select matchups. Now, they've had a Easter egg before, where if you lose where you're supposed to win, they have a different cutscene, but this seems like more than that, so that's cool. Plus, experience dream matches, because we're not getting Roman versus Rock at Mania this year. But yes, there was concerns that, hey, if you only have that 3 years of Roman as champion as part of your showcase, you're going to have guys that aren't there, like Edge, Daniel Bryan, etc. But if you expand it to the whole family, then sure, here's Brett and Yoko, here's Rock and Stone Cold. You got a whole, like, 30 years, 40 years of lineage there to play with in terms of your showcase matches. Expanded gameplay, intergender, as was rumored, makes its long-awaited debut in the 2K franchise. Not seen since, what, like 09 on SVR? Pit those superstars or your created superstars from men's and women's divisions against each other to set up countless matches across all game modes. So it's not limited, thank God for that. Additionally, the return of chain wrestling, which I'm kind of indifferent on, Underground, like, look, I thought we all agreed that Raw Underground was a fever dream and didn't happen, but apparently it is in the game. And a Bloodline rules match type and barricade diving. My biggest question, pun intended, is what happens when you have a match between the 7-foot-tall Omos and the 5-foot-tall Roxanne Perez? How does that work? I would assume much like Omos and Mysterio, kind of a similar thing, but yeah, that's going to be crazy. Now then, MyGM goes worldwide, which means that MyGM indeed now has online multiplayer for up to 4 players, but also bigger selection of GMs, cross-brand PLEs, and more. But will it break and glitch and screw me out of my rightful victory like it did last year? We'll see. Your universe, your way. Did they actually fix the universe this year? I'm gonna say probably not, but you never know. So, 2K's Sandbox mode receives new upgrades, including the long-awaited return of promos. Hey, that's an actual, tangible upgrade, including multiple promo types and outcomes with new cutscenes and branching choices. But did they fix the overall mode? I guess we'll have to wait and see. A unified MyRise. Take control of your custom superstar from the women's or men's divisions in a singular multi-gender MyRise storyline. So that's, I think, the big reason that they brought back intergender is because it was too much work to make both a women's and men's MyRise, and the 1 year we went back and forth, people hated that. So you know what? Let's just have anybody play anything and just have one story. That is less work for your dev team. Bailey, Owens, and others infiltrate NXT in an attempt to take over the entire WWE universe. New brawl environments, unlockable arenas, characters, and more. Plus new ally storylines featuring Jey Uso, Bianca, Seth, and others. And I'll be here playing it like I always do on this channel. A roster for the ages. An unparalleled lineup with Raw, SmackDown, NXT Legends, and Hall of Famers, 300 playable characters. Alright, Seth, Taker, Cody, Punk, Jade, Rhea, and more. Arenas up and down the card, traveling the world, many popular rings from your favorite events. Okay. Unfortunately, they just did new stuff for both Raw and SmackDown, and that usually never makes it in the game because it just happened, like, in January. So, you know. But notably missing from this webpage is My Faction. I would assume My Faction in the game, because My Faction makes them a lot of money, but I don't see it here. That's interesting. So yes, March 14th, unless you pre-order, and then it's March 7th. So I'll be here on March 7th. Alright, here's the question. Which of these two costs 100 and which costs 120? Let's go find out. Let's check out the pre-order, the 2K25 Deadman edition, and see what is included with this pack. Alright, so the Wyatt 6 pack, Season Pass, and the bonus VC. So yes, here's your My Faction, as I thought it would be. So My Faction, and Earn for their love, and Taker's Mask as an island cosmetic. Your 5 post-launch DLC packs and the Supercharger, and your Wyatt 6 stuff going on there, and more stuff for the island, and 50,000 VC, and yeah. Alright, so that makes sense there. So what is above that in the Bloodline edition? Also, this is very Elden Ring to me. But also, you got all this here, but not like The Rock in the background somewhere? Really? Okay. Now then, what is above and beyond that? Now, they're doing what they did last year, where you get the Mania 41 arena by buying the most expensive edition. So your Bloodline edition bonus pack has My Faction, and island stuff, including a hoodie, a shirt, a tank top, some glasses. Your Mania 41 arena, My Faction, The Rock, My Faction, your Season Pass, Supercharger, Superstar Mega Boost, MyRise Boost, and of course everything else that came in the other editions, etc., etc. And man, I miss the days of actually getting stuff in your big bonus box you go to the store and get, but that's not a thing anymore, unfortunately. And I would assume, hitting this button here going to the PS5 store, the price has gone up from $120 to $130. Yeah, nah, I'm good. I will stick with the deluxe for $100 like I do every year. If you'd sell me a box full of trinkets, then sure. But I like my games in a box. I'm not giving you $130 for a digital-only product. Alright, let's see if there's anything else in this trailer that's worth mentioning at all. Let's kind of go through here in Adobe and see if we can't slow things down. And the very first shot, the very first thing you see here is there's no ropes on this ring, and there's people that are around the ring, which is interesting. Like, is that on purpose or is that on accident? Good. You put it in your trailer, so does it actually mean anything? I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting that they've done that. Let's just, like, who are these Rudy Poos, and why are there ring posts but no ropes? Now, I'm sure someone out there will analyze these t-shirts to see who's in the game or who's not in the game, but even that's not always a good indicator. Biggest question I have, and perhaps that is not an issue this year or next year or the next 5 years, but the biggest question I have is that when they have this match, WrestleMania 40, and they have yonder showcase, which includes real-life footage, usually those logos get blurred. In this case, a giant Prime logo, like, that's a problem to have to blur out in this match being dead center in the ring for the whole thing. So, curious. Maybe they'll stop using that footage in this mode, but we'll see. But also, hey Solo, you gonna stop this pinfall or not? You gonna stand there? Alright. There's Umanga, the new entrance for the new Bloodline. Got the Usos here. That's a Hell in a Cell behind them. Big Dave Batista. Spear. But yes, the island is only on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. So, interesting how they're going to handle and or, well, how they're going to over-monetize and nickel and dime you on that one, like what happens in NBA every year in my city. And so I'd say that certainly feels like them testing the waters for perhaps dropping the PS4, Xbox One versions of the game next year and having it be current gen only, but time will tell, and I'll be here doing it. I'm Attack Slug. Thanks for watching. More videos right here. I'll see you next time, and I'm out.